1월 25일 수요일 모닝 헤드라인스 우리 뉴스캐스터 레이와 함께 시작해볼까요?
The coldest day of the season gripped the nation on Tuesday, with temperatures plunging to minus 16.4 degrees Celsius in Seoul and to minus 25.5 degrees Celsius in Cheolwon County.
어제 서울이 영하 16.4도, 철원이 영하 25.5도까지 내려가는 등 올겨울 최강 한파가 전국을 뒤덮었습니다.
The Seoul government has announced it will hold a public hearing next month with experts, city councilors, and members of the public over a plan to increase subway and bus fares.
서울시가 지하철 요금과 버스 요금을 올리기 위한 공청회를 전문가와 시의원 그리고 시민을 초청해 다음 달 초에 개최할 것이라고 밝혔습니다.
U.S. President Joe Biden has nominated State Department official Julie Turner as a new special envoy for North Korean human rights.
조 바이든 미국 대통령이 줄리 터너를 북한 인권 특사로 지명했습니다.
The World Health Organization has called for immediate and concerted action to protect children from contaminated medicines after a spate of child deaths linked to cough syrups last year.
세계보건기구 WHO가 지난해 유해 성분이 든 기침용 시럽 약품을 먹고 사망한 아동 사례 보고에 따라 회원국에 긴급 조치를 촉구했습니다.
James Cameron's Avatar, The Way of Water, has surpassed 10 million admissions at the Korean box office, becoming the first foreign film to reach the mark since the pandemic.
제임스 카메론 감독의 작품 아바타 물의 길이 한국에서 1,000만 관객을 돌파했습니다. 이로써 코로나 팬데믹 이후 관객 1,000만 명을 모은 첫 외화가 됐습니다. Well, those are today's morning headlines.
Morning Headline Expressions.
And we have covered a lot this morning, as usual, of course. The first one was plunge.
To plunge. Plunge means to fall, and to fall dramatically and very, very quickly. So we're talking about prices could plunge, temperature could plunge. A lot of times we talk about plunging into water. So if you were to jump from quite a height and you land in the water, you're going to go quite deep. So you're going to plunge into the water.
Plunge into the water.
Yeah.
그러니까 그 price라든지 혹은 temperature 얘기할 적에 가격이 급락한다거나 혹은 뭐 온도가 급락했다라고 할 때 plunge라는 동사를 쓸 수 있다. P-L-U-N-G-E. 자, 그다음 members of the public, general people, 뭐 이렇게 말씀 주셨고요.
Right, yeah, the citizens. Oh, if we can just go back to plunging for a minute.
Oh, yeah, sure.
The opposite one that you'll tend to see a lot is skyrocket.
Skyrocket.
Right? So prices skyrocketed. And then the next week prices plunged.
그러니까 천정부지로 확 뭐 급상승했다라고 할 땐 skyrocket. 마치 하늘에 쏘아 올린 로켓처럼 그걸 바로 동사로 이 plunge에 반대되는 의미로 쓸 수가 있겠습니다. Good thing to know. And so members of the public refers to like people in general?
Yeah, just general people who are going to come to these public hearings and be able to voice their opinion on, in this case, it was talking about the increase in fares for subway and buses. I don't think we can say the fare hikes they're not going to skyrocket, right? They're going to go up a little bit, but still, yeah, people are going to they're going to be able to voice their opinion on it.
Right, so that everyone can be happy about it.
At least have their opinions heard.
Sure, exactly,
right?
exactly. And nominate was the next word.
Right, we're talking about Biden nominating Julie Turner as the special envoy for human rights in North Korea. So when you nominate somebody, the president nominated her, officially chose her as the candidate. So based on the system, he wasn't able to just name her as that, but he nominates her, and then the Senate needs to have a hearing with her,
sure.
and then they'll confirm her.
그러니까 임명하는 것은 아니지만 지명을 하고 또 추천했다. 아직까지 조금 절차가 남은 관계로 그래서 nominate, N-O-M-I-N-A-T-E를 썼습니다. 그다음에 concerted action 얘기했었죠?
Or if you take concerted action, you really try hard to do something. You do it in a very determined way. A lot of times you'll see this word concerted with effort. Right? So if you're trying to change something like, I need to make a concerted effort not to eat so much sugar, right? Like you really try hard not to eat sugar. You're checking all the sugar content on all the food you eat, for example. You really try hard.
So one individual can make a concerted effort
To do something, yeah.
Oh, okay.
To do anything, right? Like maybe it's exercise, or maybe it's like your diet or studying, right? Like I've been trying to make a concerted effort to study Korean more, for example.
I see. 보통 이제 여럿이 관여되어 있을 때 이 여럿이 어떤 마음을 합심해서 열심히 노력을 일치단결을 한다라는 뜻으로 우리가 이제 concerted efforts, concerted action 이런 얘기 쓰게 되는데 혼자서도 그 결연한 의지로 어떤 걸 한다라고 할 적에도 아까 말씀하신 strong and very determined 그런 action 이런 뜻으로 할 수 있겠군요. concerted, C-O-N-C-E-R-T-E-D 그다음에 action 혹은 effort 함께 쓸 수 있겠습니다. And last but not least, admission.
Right, we were talking about admissions when we're talking about a movie, right? So the admissions would be the people that bought tickets.
Right.
You might see this word, or you would see this word, if you're going, I'm thinking about students, Korean students who are going to go to a university in a Western country, English-speaking country, so you're a new student, right? Or you're transferring from your Korean university. So the office that you'll be dealing with is called the admissions office.
Admissions office.
Right. So if you were, I'm going to go to this new school, but you had questions, who do I email, who do I contact? Search for the school's admissions office, and they're the one to contact.
그렇죠. 그럴 땐 또 이제 입학이란 뜻으로 입학처를 말씀하실 때 이제 admissions, 그래도 S가 정말 말씀하신 것처럼 붙더라고요. 여기서 말하는 admission이라고 하는 것은 이제 입장객들을 우리가 가리킬 때 하는 말이 되겠습니다. 입장이란 뜻이 된다고 하는 거죠. 자, 이렇게 해서 오늘 헤드라인에서 나온 표현들 함께 잠깐 리뷰해 보셨습니다. I think reviewing is always a good idea.
It is.
네, 모닝스페셜 우리 모닝 헤드라인 익스프레션스는요. 오디오 어학당과 유튜브에서 무료로 다시 듣게 하실 수 있습니다. 1월 26일 목요일 모닝 헤드라인스 뉴스캐스터 레이가 없는 상황이지만 저 혼자 일단 여러분과 같이 시작해 보도록 할까요? Escalating reports of damage caused by extreme weather conditions, including strong winds and sub-zero temperatures, have continued throughout the nation, with the weather agency warning of more snow to follow. 전국적으로 강풍과 영하의 기온 등 혹한의 날씨로 인한 피해가 늘어나는 가운데 기상청은 앞으로 눈이 더 올 것으로 예보했습니다. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration has laid out a roadmap for COVID-19 vaccines, saying they probably need an annual update as the virus continues to evolve. 미국 식품의약국 FDA는 코로나19 바이러스가 계속 변이를 거듭함에 따라 매년 백신을 업데이트하는 방안을 포함한 코로나19 백신 관련 로드맵을 제시했습니다. The metaphorical measure of challenges to humanity known as the doomsday clock has been reset to 90 seconds before midnight due to the war in Ukraine. 인류에게 닥친 위기를 보여주는 상징적인 척도, 일명 지구 종말의 시계의 초침이 우크라이나 전쟁의 영향으로 지구 멸망을 가리키는 자정 전 90초까지 접근했습니다. NASA has announced it plans to test a spacecraft engine powered by nuclear fission by 2027 as part of a long-term effort to demonstrate more efficient methods of propelling astronauts to Mars in the future. 미 항공우주국 나사가 오는 2027년까지 핵 추진 우주선을 시험 발사하겠다는 계획을 발표했습니다. 이는 향후 화성 유인 탐사선을 보낼 보다 효율적인 방법을 찾으려는 장기적 노력의 일환인 것으로 알려졌습니다. The Ministry of Employment and Labor has released data showing that the number of Korean workers who took time off to take care of their children rose 18.6% in 2022 from a year earlier. 고용노동부는 지난해 육아휴직을 쓴 근로자가 전년 대비 18.6% 증가했다고 발표했습니다. And those are today's morning headlines.
Morning headline expressions.
네, Ray is finally here in the studio. As you can see on 보이는 radio right there. Hi,
You forgot my name? I wasn't gone that long.
I was that lost.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming in, Ray. So good to see you.
My apologies for being late. It's treacherous out there.
Oh, treacherous out
Yeah,
there.
so everyone definitely please be careful, take your time.
네, 그러니까. It's okay. It's all right. It's all good. You're here. You know what? We're going to take a look at some of the vocabulary expressions that I went through without you.
Okay.
Okay. So shall we? The first one was escalate.
So you can think of escalate as increasing or moving to a higher level, right? Just like an escalator does. So if we had escalating reports, it means that there are more reports and they're getting more serious as well. There's when you escalate something, it also becomes more serious, more intense.
그렇죠. More intense. 정말 좋은 말씀이시네요. 어떤 그 강도가 점점 더 이렇게 아까 우리 고조하다 말씀드렸던 것처럼 escalate 혹은 여기서 increase라는 단어로 바꿔 쓸 수가 있겠고요. How about roadmap?
Roadmap. Well, if you think about an actual map, what does it do? It helps you plan your way, shows you how to get somewhere. So that's what this means when they use it that way. They've laid out a roadmap for the vaccines. They've come up with a plan that's going to show them how to get from A to B to C.
They come up with the plan. 그렇죠.
Right.
자, 이 다음의 절차나 어떤 그 계획들을 쫙 펼쳐서 보여준다. Laid out a roadmap for COVID-19 vaccines였었고요. And the next one on the list is reset.
Reset. Usually we use reset for some type of machine, right? Usually a clock. So you change it. You means do it again. So you adjust or you set the clock or the settings one more time. And maybe you change it a little bit from how you did in the first place.
Right. 그렇죠. reset. 다시 세팅하고 다시 맞춘다. 방금 말씀 주신 것처럼 대부분 이제 기계에 대해서 말할 때 여기서는 우리가 시계 얘기하고 있었습니다. The doomsday clock has been reset to 90 seconds before midnight.
Now, usually when you see at the start of a word, it means dashi. It means
다시,
again.
맞아.
Yeah.
네. 그러니까 repeat after me.
Repeat or reapply, right?
그렇죠.
Sometimes you might need to reapply your makeup, or for me in the summertime, I always have to reapply sunscreen.
You put it on again.
Again, just
on
do it
top of
again.
the
Right,
first-
right. Do it a few hours later. You do it again. People invest money, then they want to invest more money, so they reinvest, perhaps.
reinvest. 그렇죠. 다시 한다. 그러니까 선블락 바르고 또 바르는 경우 또 계속 발라야 된다고 하잖아요. 그런 경우 reapply the sunblock on your skin. 저거 reapply. 네. 자, 그다음에 propel 있었습니다.
Propel. Think about a propeller
Yeah,
on a boat or on a prop
plane.
airplane, like propeller airplanes, right? So the propeller is what makes the machine go, right? So that's what they mean here. They mean what's going to propel astronauts to Mars. It's this nuclear fission. So nuclear fission, that's the energy that will be used to operate the machine
Right.
and to send the astronauts to Mars.
So instead of saying you push them forward all the way to Mars, they chose to use this word propel to possibly mean that there's a lot of more force involved.
Yeah, that's how I think of it too. When you think of to propel something, it's
Propel.
really pushing it and really pushing it with a lot of power and a lot of force.
Right. 그리고 이렇게 스피드 스케이팅 할 적에도 왜 그 릴레이 할 때 뒤에서 오는 그 선수가 앞 선수를 이렇게 팍 밀잖아요. 그럴 적에도 그 바로 프로펠러 같이 이렇게 쫙 밀어붙인다라고 할 때 얼마 전에 그 경기 보셨나요? 정말 대단했죠. 자, propel 앞으로 나아가게 한다는 어떤 동력을 가지고라는 뜻의 단어였습니다. And last but not least, take time off.
That's always nice.
I know,
right?
isn't it though?
Right. When we say take time off, it means temporarily stop working for a while.
그러니까요.
Take time off work. That's the
time off
full
work.
phrase.
take time off work까지 원래는 말을 하는 게 맞겠지만 work는 이제 빼고 take time off to take care of their children. The story was about that the reports the more Korean the workers or laborers they are taking time off to take care of their children.
Right.
그렇습니다. 그래서 people need some time off. 이렇게 말하기도 하잖아요. People do say that we do need some time off.
Right, I need some time off. And time off doesn't mean you've quit your job.
Right.
It just means you need a break.
그렇죠.
And maybe that's why people have vacation time or leave time. So they can have a break. They can
네.
take a break.
그렇습니다.
Take some time off.
맞아. 누구나 조금 쉼이 필요하다라고 할 때 everybody needs some time off 이렇게 말하는 것처럼 여기서는 동사 구가 되겠죠. take some time off가 되겠습니다. 휴가를 낸다, 뭐 휴직하다가 되겠죠. 자, 이렇게 해서 오늘 헤드라인에서 나온 표현들을 다시 한번 레이와 리뷰해봤고요. 모닝 헤드라인 익스프레션스는 오디오 어학당 그리고 유튜브에서 무료로 다시 듣기 하실 수 있습니다. 자, 1월 27일 금요일 모닝 헤드라인스 뉴스캐스터 폴과 함께 시작합니다.
An increase in gas rates coupled with the latest brutal cold wave has led to a spike in heating bills, putting household finances under further strain.
최강 한파와 함께 난방비가 증가하면서 서민 경제를 압박하고 있습니다.
Senior UN economists have warned that intersecting crises are likely to add further damage to the global economy, with growth set to slow from 3% in 2022 to 1.9% this year.
유엔의 경제학자들이 2023년 세계 경제 상황과 전망 보고서를 통해 세계 경제가 더욱 악화될 가능성이 있다고 경고하면서 올해 세계 경제 성장률을 2022년에 전망한 3%에서 1.9%로 하향 조정했습니다.
The US has announced it will join Germany and send 31 powerful tanks to the battlefield in Ukraine to help deter a potential Russian offensive in the spring.
미국이 이번 봄에 러시아의 공세를 저지하기 위해 독일에 합류해 우크라이나에 31대의 전차를 지원하겠다고 밝혔습니다.
The Japanese government and 3 business groups are set to begin projects in the country aimed at offering large-scale carbon storage services equivalent to emissions from up to 3 coal power plants a year by fiscal 2030.
일본 정부와 기업 연합 3곳이 2030년까지 석탄 화력 발전소 3기분의 배출량에 상당하는 이산화탄소 저장 서비스를 제공하는 사업을 추진할 예정이라고 밝혔습니다.
The mummified remains of a teenager buried 2,300 years ago have been digitally unwrapped by scientists, revealing intimate details that went undiscovered for over a century.
2300년 전 사망한 이집트 소년의 미라를 컴퓨터 단층 촬영으로 분석한 결과 한 세기가 넘도록 발견되지 않았던 세부 사항들이 밝혀졌습니다. And those are today's morning headlines.
Morning headline expressions.
And we're going to have a quick review of the vocabulary expressions that we just covered this morning. First one is strain.
Yes, I think of the Queen and David Bowie song. Under pressure.
Under pressure.
Yes, if we're under strain, we're under pressure. Something is demanding something of us. So it could be physical strain, it could be financial strain, but it's going to have an impact on us.
Like, psychological strain도 있을 수 있어요?
Of course, yes. We're talking about emotional strain.
Emotional
or
strain,
mental
that's right.
strain, yes.
Mental strain, 그렇죠. 그러니까 중압감을 느낀다. 그게 실제로 뭐 내 손목에 뭘 어떻게 짓눌러서 it could be like my the wrist could be under a huge strain.
Exactly.
If something is maybe pushing downward 한다 되면은 뭐 그럴 수도 있는 거잖아요.
Yes,
It could be
yes.
physical. 아, 여기서도 지금 putting household finances under further strain이라고 하니까 여러 가지로 그 날씨도 지금 너무나 한파가 심하고요. 또 이 난방비 상승으로 인해서 더 많은 압박을 가고 있다. strain 나오고 있습니다. S-T-R-A-I-N. 다음은 set to do something.
Yes, I will set to explain this for
Yes,
you.
please.
I will start. I will begin. I'm going to do it. Okay, I will. I promise. Yes, if we set to something, it means we're going to do something. We're going to start to do something. Or we will do something.
그렇죠. 어떤 것을 이제 할 거다라는 이제 착수한다라는 뜻으로 말할 때 set to. And here in this news article, we were talking about the growth rate, and it's starting to slow down, even though it is going to go up, but at a much slower pace.
Yes.
set to 있었습니다. 다음은 deter, D-E-T-E-R인데요.
Yes, to discourage someone or something from happening. You said about deter crimes. I was thinking about that. Rather than deter crimes, we might say to deter robberies or to deter theft, specific crimes.
I see.
So you're right that we can use it for crimes, but we're more likely to use it for specific things. So it's for someone or something. In this case, it's deterring Russia, and in particular, a potential Russian offensive.
That's right. 그러니까 deter, D-E-T-E-R. 이거 deter 아니고 deter 이렇게
네.
말하죠. 그러니까 deter, 뭐 prefer 하듯이 뒤에 강세가 있는 그 단어가 될 텐데요. 어떤 걸 이렇게 억지시킨다고 할 때 아까 말씀하신 것처럼 범죄인이라고 할 때 이제 criminal이란 사람을 deter 시킬 수도 있는 거고, 혹은 굉장히 구체적으로 어떤 절도라든지 어떤 그런 행위를 가리키는 말을 뒤에 이어서 말할 수가 있겠습니다. deter 여기서는 deter potential Russian offensive라고 해서 있을 수 있는 러시아 측의 공격을 미리 억지시킨다는 뜻으로 쓰이고 있습니다. 그다음에 equivalent to something 나오네요.
Yes, meaning it's the same as or it's equal to something. We're often going to use this term when talking about the size of something or the weight of something or the price of something because we're comparing it. I wouldn't necessarily use it for colors, for example, but we would use it when we're talking about the use of a car, how good a car is. You can say, well, this car is equivalent to that car. It's a different brand, but it's pretty much the same kind of car.
그러니까 서로 비교할 때 이렇게 뭐뭐와 같다, 상응한다라고 할 때, how about the equivalent expression?
Yes, meaning it's a similar or expression or it means the same thing.
그렇죠. What's the equivalent word for or of 시계 in English?
Well, it could be clock or it could be watch. It
그렇습니다.
depends on what you're talking about.
그렇습니다. 그러니까 뭐뭐에 상응하는 상응어 할 때 이게 equivalent 그럴 때 또 쓸 수가 있는 거죠. equivalent to 뭐뭐. 자, and last but not least, intimate.
Shh, it's private. It's personal. I don't want to talk about it.
그러니까요. 네, 그만큼 아주 친해야 알 수 있는 어떤 intimate details. 근데 그렇게 많이 쓰인다는 거죠. 아주 세밀한 세부적인 사항이다 할 때 intimate details. 하지만 close라는 단어를 쓸 때는 close를 써야지 intimate를 쓰면 상대방이 엉뚱한 생각을 할 수가 있다는 거. 자, 그런 의미로 INTIMATE 함께 하셨습니다. 자, 이렇게 해서 오늘 헤드라인스에서 살펴본 표현들 리뷰해봤고요. 모닝 헤드라인 익스프레션스는 언제든지 여러분이 다시 보실 수 있습니다. 오디오 어학당 유튜브에서 무료로 다시 듣기 하실 수 있거든요.